Tying into previous videos on our channel regarding inheritance tax and whether financial gifts are taxable, today I'm going to outline the main gift exemptions when it comes to inheritance tax. To recap, inheritance tax is charged when we die if the value of our estate is in excess of a certain threshold. The threshold can vary depending on your circumstances, but it's usually at least £325,000 per person, before which we need to consider whether a liability to inheritance tax would arise. The value of our estate isn't just a snapshot in time, though. It does also include the value of any gifts we've made in at least the 7 years prior to death. This means that if you've given away lots of assets in the years before you pass away, the value of these gifts could have an impact on whether your beneficiaries have a liability to inheritance tax or not. Therefore, it's important to understand which gifts are permitted under the exemptions for inheritance tax to understand the impact that the gifts we make can have on our overall liability. Firstly, we each have an annual exemption of £3,000. This is an amount that we can give away every year, and it will not be brought back into our estate for the calculation of inheritance tax on our death. Next, there's a small gifts exemption of £250 per person per year. This means that you could gift £250 to several different individuals, and each gift would be exempt from the calculation. This is commonly used to give money at, say, Christmas or on birthdays, for example. You're also able to give regular gifts out of income which do not affect your standard of living. So this could, for example, be to pay for a life assurance policy, or perhaps to help pay for the costs of childcare for a grandchild. The important aspect is that the payment must come from surplus income rather than from savings in the bank. There are also exemptions for gifts made on the marriage of children or grandchildren. Grandparents can give up to £2,500 on marriage, and parents up to £5,000. We can also make wedding gifts to other people of up to £1,000. And finally, gifts to charities are exempt from inheritance tax. Aside from the above exemptions, most other gifts we make in the 7 years prior to death would be included within the calculation for inheritance tax. To make your affairs simpler for your executors, it is advisable to keep a record of any gifts you make to help them manage your affairs when the time comes.